In this video, I'm going to share with you 3 more of my absolute favorite solo board games, so make sure you stick around to the end because any one of these games could be your next favorite. Hey guys, I am Evan and we are Being Friends. We are a channel dedicated to sharing with you why board games are a fantastic way to connect with others. But even when no one is able to play a game, I know there are so many fantastic choices for what I can play by myself. So make sure you subscribe because we've got plenty of content on the way as well as some fantastic videos that we've already released. But for now, we are going to jump into these 3 fantastic solo games right now. The first game on this list is absolutely lovely, it's incredibly beautiful, super fun, as well as a fantastic 1 or 2 player puzzle. This game is Aerion. Aerion is the 5th game in the Oniverse series, which is a bunch of games that are all considered to be some of the best solo games. Aerion in particular is a dice game where you're trying to gather materials, blueprints, as well as a crew to build flying machines. To me, what makes Aerion so fantastic is that it is a very simple game, but this game comes with 6 expansions in the box, and when you add those expansions, it becomes increasingly more challenging, engaging, and just an absolutely fantastic puzzle. Okay, let's set this game up and show you what exactly is going on. As you can see, this is a pretty simple setup. It's just 6 stacks of cards and a few tokens. The first thing you'll notice, and the first thing that I noticed, is that the art in this game is like second to none. This game has some of my favorite artwork in almost any game, and it evokes an insane amount of imagination for me because the artwork is so abstract as well as almost like a children's book in the way that it is presented. It really feels to me like I'm in this world of the Oniverse where I'm building flying machines for dreams, is what the game says we're doing right now. Which doesn't make any sense, but to me it's whimsical and I love it. In Aerion, your goal is to build all 6 of these flying machines, and once you can gather the right materials, you build it. The problem is gathering these resources and managing them so that you can build all of them is not only difficult in itself, you actually have a time limit because once all of these decks of cards are empty, the game is over. So every round you're going to be using these cards in certain ways, and afterwards flipping more from the decks. Again, once you flip all the cards, the game is over, and hopefully by then you have built all the flying machines. This game has roots very similar to games like Yahtzee, where you are rolling the dice, choosing some you want to keep, and re-rolling them to get the combination you need. For instance, right here, I just got 2 pairs, which means that I can gain the card from this slot, which has the AA and BB on the card. To acquire a card from each specific pile, it takes different requirement and combination of the dice you rolled, and each pile, as the cards say, has a different combination of blueprints, crew members, and materials that you need to use in order to construct these flying machines, which each of them has a different combination you need to build them. So you're rolling these dice, looking at what you need, looking at what you rolled, which that was a good roll, and deciding which one you want to take. The way that they make this really interesting is that in order to re-roll any of the dice, you have to discard a card from another pile, which limits your options and what you can take, as well as it is directly contributing to the time limit because now this pile is getting closer to being empty. Every single turn, when you roll the dice, the decisions you have are really exciting, and every single time you discard one of those cards to re-roll, it's both engaging as well as a really fun risk to take. This is the heart of Aerion, this re-roll system, this card-based timer, and these decks that have completely different resources that you need to build all the machines. On top of all those resource cards, there are these book cards in each of the decks, which give you the option of 1 of 3 special abilities, all of which are incredibly helpful. One of them lets you re-roll 3 times in a row, which is bound to get you what you need to roll, right? Sometimes it's not. Say I'm trying to get 2 3-of-a-kinds to get this card right here. I have 3 2s and 2 6s. I'm gonna use this book so I can roll this 3 times to get a 6. 1. I got it.
You got some good rolls.
Which, that's even more hilarious than not getting them 3 times because I could have just used any one of these cards to get that re-roll, but I used this whole book in a way for nothing. Yes, there is a lot of luck in this game. That just comes with it being a dice game primarily, but it's paired with so much interesting and complex decision making, which just makes the luck feel like it's part of the game and not just something that is against you. or it's exactly what's against you, and that's what's so fun about it. It doesn't really make sense for both of those things to be true, but I'm going with it. I'm sticking with it. This is Aerion. This is the main rules for the base game. Once you get this, and it might take you a few times to win because it's so challenging. On top of that, like I said, there are 6 expansions just in this box, and you don't have to buy all these expansions. They're just already here for you to add as you like. So once you complete it the first time, you're like, I finally won. I'm ready to add another expansion. You get to do it, and it makes the game that much more interesting, and you get to do that 6 times. And so this game to me has so much to offer because of the way that they introduce these small expansions over time. It's just absolutely fascinating. All that to say, I love this game. I'm so excited to play it more. I find it to be absolutely beautiful in so many ways. It is a lovely puzzle. I literally can't recommend it enough because you're gonna love this game. As well as, since it comes with a 2-player variant, if you are somebody who plays games 1 or 2 players primarily, this one is an absolute must buy. We have a link in the description for this game below, as well as each of the games on this list, so make sure you check it out. I gotta ask though, have you played any of the Oniverse games? Have you played Castellion or Nautilion or frickin' Onirim? I don't remember. There's one more, I think, that I don't remember the name of. Sylveon, I remembered it. If you've played any of these games, or all of them, let me know down in the comments below what you think of them, as well as which one should I get next, because after this game, am convinced, and I'm like, I kind of want to get every game in the series, but I don't know which one I should start with, so let me know in the comments below. If you haven't seen it yet, back in March, we released a video where I told you about my 5 favorite solo games at the time, and since then I've played a bunch more solo games, as well as there's a bunch more solo games that I haven't played yet, and I'm excited to try them. So I'm back with 3 more of my favorites. If you are a solo board gamer and you're enjoying this video, make sure you drop a like down below. This really helps our channel out, and we're still growing as a channel. It means a lot. Next up is a great roll and write game. This one is the best example of a roll and write game that makes you want to play it more because you want to get better at it. Most roll and write games, while they have a good amount of depth and strategy, this one is the one where I legitimately feel like I am being challenged and put to the test every single time I play, and there is so much to this game. For those reasons, I love this game. It's called That's Pretty Clever, or Ganz, Schön, Clever, which is the German original title of the game. Let's dive in and I'll show you how this game works and tell you why this game is so enticing. First of all, you gotta get a sheet of your paper. I'm gonna rip the paper in half if I do this. No, I just need to do it not like an idiot. In Ganz, Schön, Clever, you got these dice. There's 6 different colors. So you got your dice, you got your sheet, you got your tiny marker, and your silver platter. Don't ask me why there's a silver platter in this game, because I have no idea. Why is there foxes? And why is there a silver platter? This doesn't make any sense to me. What, are the dice the fox's food? Maybe there is a theme. Despite its lack of thematic anything, the game is a legendary puzzle. It's one of the best designed roll and writes, I think, ever. Probably the best. I might like Cartographers more, but that's just me. If you want to know more roll and write games, we've got a video for you, obviously. It's right in the corner right there, if you're interested. But this one, I played it after we made a roll and write video, and it's just fantastic. Let me put this away. In Ganz, Schön, Clever, all you're doing every round is rolling the dice, choosing one of the dice, writing that number on your sheet, and rolling the rest. And you do that 3 times to get 3 different numbers that you write on your sheet somewhere. It's not very complicated, but a very simple twist that makes this game incredible is this. When you choose the dice that you are gonna take, you have to then lose every dice that is a lower number than the one you take. So if I take this 4, the 3 and the 3 and the 1 are gone. That means I both have less options for the next roll, as well as if you do that too many times, then you might not even get all 3 of your dice, which is an absolute waste. Or is it a waste? Sometimes it's absolutely worth it to get that higher number that you need and lose some dice, lose your options, but it's all completely worth it. And that's the kind of puzzle that this game offers, this balance of what should I take, what is worth it, what options is it worth to keep, and what options is it okay to completely lose because I know that it's not what I will want. And to me, that dice drafting system makes for incredibly interesting decisions every single roll. On top of that, you have 5 different puzzles that are completely different, but all interact in such an interesting way that it feels like this really holistic experience. Filling in all these different boxes and hopefully getting bonuses, which will help you get more bonuses, which will help you get a bunch of points. And there are so many different paths to getting points in this game that it is consistently incredibly exciting, and it really comes down to what you're rolling. But not in the way that it's like, if you roll bad, you lose, or if you roll bad, you don't get very many points, but more so what you roll will help to guide you to a specific strategy, and you just have to do your best with what you're given in a really interesting way. While this game is consistently through the whole game strategically satisfying and there's so much depth, what really makes this game fun is that at the end of the game, you're gonna get so many combos. Again, every time you gain one of these bonuses, if I can put a blue X anywhere, there's a high likelihood that I'm going to be able to get another bonus right away, which could potentially get me another bonus, and could potentially get me another bonus, and that combo, that chain reaction of events, for some reason, it's so satisfying that instead of using 1 dice to get 1 X, you get to mark out like 5 different boxes. Somehow, that in itself is like the most fun thing that could possibly happen. So anyways, this game is a fantastic balancing act where you are trying to use each color effectively to get as many points as you can, and it's just super interesting. But again, what makes this game so good, what makes me want to play it 3 times in a row every time I play it, and what makes it something that I will always come back to, is how truly challenging it is. I know for a fact that when I don't do good, it's because I probably made 20, 30 different decisions that were just completely wrong. So this game is full to the brim with strategic thinking, decision making that all actually really matters, and so many fun moments where you just feel like you did it, like you just did fantastic. So Ganz, Schön, Clever is an absolutely fantastic option for solo games, especially if you like roll and writes. For all these reasons. It also plays great from 2 to 4 players, so I would keep that in mind if you are thinking about buying this game. If you play this game, let me know down in the comments what your high score is. I'm gonna have to look up what mine is actually, I don't remember. In Ganz, my high score when I'm playing solo is 234 points, which I'm decently proud of, but I'm not proud of the fact that I still very often get terrible scores. I think that same day I got 148 points. If you know how this game works and if you know what a normal score is, you would be laughing right now. If you don't, just laugh. Just go ahead.
If you don't,
laugh at me.
Click the link in the description.
Exactly. If you don't, click the link in the description, then you can laugh at me after you buy this game and play it and realize, yeah, 148 sucks, even for new players. Anyways, that's Ganz, Schön, Clever. Originally, I was gonna make this list 5 more solo games, but 2 of the games, the ones that aren't on this list, I realized I didn't really know exactly what to say about it. It was one of them that I've only played once and one of them that I hadn't played in a while. So we decided that we're just going to make this 3 games. Paladins of the West Kingdom didn't make the list because I've only played it 1 time, but it was actually originally going to be my number 2 on the list based on just that 1 time of playing. This is a fantastic worker placement game that is just so good in so many ways. I just didn't really know how to truly recommend it just because I've only played it 1 time. And we got Architects of the West Kingdom right there, which I haven't even played yet. And there's a couple more in the same series. If you're watching this video and you have played Paladins, Architects, Raiders of the North Sea, or any of the other games in this series, let me know in the comments below which ones you've played or which one's your favorite. After playing it more times, I'm definitely gonna make a video about it, or it's gonna be on a future top solo games list, so make sure you subscribe to see what I think about Paladins of the West Kingdom. Alright, my number 1 solo game for you on this little list is probably in my top 3 of all time, both solo games and maybe games. And it might be the exact same 3. Fun fact for you guys, my top 2 favorite games of all time are also actually the top 2 favorite games on my solo games video from before. And my number 1 here is probably my 3rd favorite solo game and my 3rd favorite game of all time. So I'm super excited to talk to you about it. We've been wanting to make more content about this game, specifically me, because I love it so much. Alex hasn't even played it, right, Alex?
I still haven't played it. It's my favorite game I haven't played.
Because he trusts me.
No, I know.
Oh, it's so good. Anyways, it's so good. I remember the first time I played this game, me and my friend were like, this is so well made. This is so fun. Oh man, and we kept like discovering all of the different strategies and all of the level of depth to all of the decisions. It might sort of feel like the beginning is like your typical deck building game. Oh yeah, it's a deck building game. I haven't said what this game is. I should probably just introduce it. This game is Aeons End, if you didn't know already. This game, we found out very quickly, every decision from every part of the game and every moment of the game is so important and in such a nuanced way that like we didn't realize until we really got to know the game. And really, like, honestly, Aeons End is a game that I have fallen in love with. And I love Aeons End for so many reasons. This game, just the base game, is really good and you can get a lot out of it. And this game shines in its replayability and its variety because there are 4 bad guys you could fight. Aeons End is a boss battling deck building game where you take control of breach mages and you are fighting a bad boss guy, a nemesis, who is evil and disgusting and you hate him, so you want to kill him. In the base game here, you get 8 mages and a bunch of cards you can choose from to play with. All of that is already so much, but for me, one of the reasons why this game stands out is because of all the expansions. All of the extra content in this game is consistently so good. The other 2 games on this list were small. You buy the game, you have a bunch of to play right there, and it's fun and it's great and I love them. But Aeons End is a game where you could just buy the base game and really enjoy it, and it's got a lot to give you. But if you want a game that you can just go all in and just like have the most fun you'll ever have in a game, this is a fantastic option. With all of the content, if you can get all of it, which is a lot of money, and I don't necessarily like recommend you do, but I absolutely recommend that you do because it's so good. Anyways, so we got Aeons End right here. All right. Oh, this is so heavy. There's so many cards. Okay, so we got Aeons End. We got Aeons End War Eternal. Oh my gosh. You got Aeons End Legacy, which is a legacy game, and it's great. We got Aeons End The New Age, which adds a campaign mode, and Aeons End Outcast, which is the all-new... I'm getting really crowded in this. Aeons End Outcast is the all-new Aeons End expansion from Kickstarter that just shipped pretty recently, plus a bunch of small expansions that we have hidden in these boxes. This game is great, and there's a lot right here. But anyways, what makes it good? Why is this game worth buying every expansion for? Why would I even want to play it in the first place? Well, I think that there is so many reasons. Every individual aspect of the game is incredibly well done, as well as each individual aspect combined into one game is incredibly harmonious and holistic. Aeons End essentially has 2 things going on. Your team of breach mages versus the nemesis. Every breach mage starts with a deck of really simple cards. You have a couple spells and a bunch of crystals which give you ether. That is what you use to gain new cards and do other special abilities. The game starts with you going, okay, I need to buy some new cards so I can now have more money to buy more cards and get to the point where I can be a proficient and strong breach mage so that we can kill the nemesis and prevent all of its powers from going through that it's throwing at us. And really, it's the way you win the game. The goal of the game is to become powerful. The solo mode in Aeons End officially is that you control one mage versus the nemesis, and it's you got to do a lot of stuff and you become really powerful really quickly. But I actually highly recommend and prefer playing the game two-handed. A lot of people are really scared about this idea. They're like, I don't want to play a game two-handed, I don't want to be 2 different people. But in this game it works really well because the game is simple enough in its execution and what you're doing that it's not overwhelming, and really building 2 separate characters, it adds so much more excitement, so much more combo potential. The teamwork that is demonstrated when 2 different mages are working together is honestly one of the best parts about this game. It's a cooperative game when you're playing it multiplayer, so playing it solo where you're doing 2 different guys is even more fun. That's the way I highly recommend you play it. But obviously you can do whatever you want. You can even play 3 mages at once. And even me and my friend, when we play 2 players, we often do 2 mages each, so it's like a 4-player game, because we can and we like to. So that's the way the solo game mainly works. I think it works fantastically, but let me get back into what makes this game so fun on its own. I'm gonna actually pull out a Breach Mage setup and show you exactly what you're gonna be doing. I'm gonna set up Kadir. She's one of my favorite mages for sure. She's from the base game, and she's just so cool. Every mage has a few things going on. You got your breaches. Some of them are open, some of them are closed, most of them are closed. Every single character has their own unique starting deck with a different combination of sparks and crystals, which are your starter spells and your starter gems to gain ether, as well as their very own unique special card. On top of that, they each have different setup of breaches, starting in different positions. Some of them are closer to being opened, as well as you each have a different charge ability. Those are the 3 different ways that your character is unique, and all of those combined make each character vastly different and feel like they're a completely different character, and you feel like you are a different mage with different abilities. On top of that, you have infinite possibilities of how you want to build your character depending on what cards are in the supply that round, as well as what nemesis you're fighting in the first place. All that combined makes being a Breach Mage and taking control of them incredibly fun. Every single game of Aeons End, you're gonna have 9 different cards in your supply. These are the options you have when you're purchasing cards. You can buy one of these 3 gems, one of these 2 relics, and one of these 4 spells. This supply, as well as the different characters, as well as if you're playing with either multiple people or you're playing solo, multi-handed, you're creating a team of characters that are all working together to beat the nemesis. Those things combined together make for a game with endless variety, endless replayability, and so much incredibly interesting synergies and combos that there's just so much to explore. And if you're somebody who is excited about the idea of just so much content, like so many more cards, I think right now we have like 30 or 40 mages and like 20 different enemies we can fight, which all feel incredibly different, make the game completely unique. All these different nemesis are so fascinating. I'm not going to go into much in this video about those because I'm more trying to explain to you how this game to me is so great because of all the variety it offers you. From the get-go, you get to decide what cards do I want to use in my supply. Do I just want to randomize it completely? And what mages do I want to try to use together to see how I can become the most powerful I could possibly be? I really, really recommend you try it. There's so much I could say about this game, and I really want to make more content about this game. If you are a huge fan of Aeons End like I am, what do you want to see? Do you want to see me talk about what mages I like the most, or who my favorite nemesis are to fight, or just a review of the game, or gameplay? Just let me know in the comments below what sounds interesting. It's just fantastic, and this game consistently surprises with me with how good it is. I'm learning more and more every time I play about how fantastic it is. I don't think I'm ever gonna get bored of the game. So if you want to learn more solo games, I have 5 more great solo games that you have got to try. And if you want to learn about more deck building games like Aeons End, check out this video right here. Both of these videos you're gonna have a lot of fun watching, so make sure you check them out right now.